The human mind is not weak. It is simply predictable. Every day, without realizing it, people make decisions they believe are fully their own. What to buy, who to trust, what to fear, what to ignore. But behind many of these decisions is an invisible force. A quiet psychological pressure that does not shout or threaten. It whispers. And because it whispers, it often goes unnoticed. This film is not about teaching you how to control others. It is about showing you how control already happens. This documentary exists for one reason only: awareness. When you understand how influence works, you stop being a passive target and become an active observer. Power does not begin with manipulation. Power begins with recognition. Before we go further, understand this clearly. Everything discussed here is for education and self-protection only. Misusing psychological knowledge harms trust, relationships, and ultimately yourself. True intelligence is defensive, not predatory. Now imagine this. A man walks into a store. He has no intention of buying anything expensive. He is calm, rational, confident in his self-control. 20 minutes later, he leaves with a product he never planned to buy. He feels satisfied, even proud of his decision. What changed? Nothing external, only his perception. This is how psychological influence works. It does not force behavior. It shapes the frame through which behavior feels natural. If you value content that helps you understand your own mind and protect it, take a moment now to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps this content reach people who need awareness more than motivation. Let us begin at the foundation. The human brain evolved for survival, not truth. It prioritizes speed over accuracy, emotion over logic, familiarity over evidence. These shortcuts are called cognitive biases. They are not flaws. They are survival tools. But in a modern world, these same tools can be exploited. One of the strongest is authority bias. When a message comes from someone perceived as knowledgeable, confident, or powerful, the brain relaxes its defenses. It stops questioning. This is why uniforms matter. Titles matter. Confidence matters even when it is empty. A confident voice can bypass critical thinking faster than facts. In one historical experiment, ordinary people were instructed to administer what they believed were painful electric shocks to others. The majority complied, not because they were cruel, but because an authority figure told them it was necessary. Responsibility shifted. Obedience replaced judgment. The danger is not authority itself. The danger is unexamined authority. The defense is simple but difficult. Slow down. Ask internal questions. Does this person benefit if I comply? Is evidence present or only confidence? Am I agreeing because it feels safe to do so? The second vulnerability is urgency. When time feels limited, thinking collapses. The mind moves from reasoning mode to survival mode. Sales tactics often rely on this. Limited time, last chance, final offer. Urgency creates tunnel vision. In that tunnel, alternatives disappear. Consequences fade. Only action remains. This tactic is common not just in commerce, but in relationships, politics, and media. Fear-driven headlines rely on urgency to bypass reflection. The defense is deliberate pause. Any message that demands immediate action deserves delayed response. True opportunities withstand scrutiny. Manipulation fears it. If this perspective is already changing how you see the world, pause here and leave a comment with your thoughts. Engagement tells the algorithm this content matters and your perspective matters even more. Now we move deeper. Social proof is one of the most powerful forces shaping human behavior. Humans are tribal by nature. If many people believe something, the brain assumes safety in numbers. Popularity becomes a substitute for truth. This is why reviews matter. Trends matter. Viral content matters. But popularity does not equal accuracy. It equals repetition. History is full of widely accepted beliefs later proven false. Yet while they were popular, dissent felt dangerous. The defense is intellectual independence. Ask what evidence exists beyond consensus. Ask who benefits from mass belief. Ask what voices are missing. Now let us shift from external forces to internal vulnerabilities. Emotional hooks are the fastest way to bypass logic. Fear, guilt, hope, and shame are commonly used triggers. Once emotion spikes, reasoning capacity drops. This is why arguments escalate quickly. Once emotions take over, winning replaces understanding. Manipulative language often sounds like concern. It frames pressure as care. Control as protection. Listen closely to words like only option, everyone else, you must, or if you cared you would. The defense is emotional distancing. Observe your feelings without acting on them immediately. Ask yourself what emotion is being activated and why. Now consider a story. A young woman receives advice from someone she trusts deeply. The advice sounds logical. It is framed as concern for her future. Over time, she begins making smaller choices that align with this guidance. Slowly, her independence erodes. Not through force, but through guidance that never invites disagreement. This is subtle manipulation. It grows through repetition and trust. The defense is autonomy awareness. Healthy influence encourages questions. Manipulation discourages them. If questioning feels unsafe, control is already present. Language is another powerful tool. Certain phrases create compliance without direct commands. Framing choices in a way that limits perceived options leads people to select the option intended. For example, asking when rather than if implies inevitability. This technique is common in negotiations and persuasion. The defense is reframing. Restore choice mentally. Replace assumed outcomes with open questions. Media influence deserves special attention. Repeated exposure shapes belief. Even false information begins to feel true when repeated often enough. This is called the familiarity effect. The brain confuses recognition with accuracy. This is why propaganda works. Not through logic, but through repetition. The defense is information diversity. Seek multiple perspectives. Challenge comfortable narratives. Discomfort is often the price of clarity. Now let us address something important. Knowledge itself is neutral. It can protect or harm. The difference lies in intent. This documentary is designed to give you armor, not weapons. If you are finding value here, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. This is the second reminder. Supporting educational content ensures it continues to exist. We now move into defensive strategies. The first is awareness of internal state. Manipulation works best when you are tired, emotional, or distracted. Protecting your mind begins with protecting your energy. The second is delayed response. Most manipulation relies on speed. Slow decisions are harder to hijack. The third is questioning framing. Ask who benefits. Ask what assumptions are being made. The fourth is boundaries. Emotional boundaries prevent guilt-based influence. Time boundaries prevent urgency-based pressure. The fifth is self-trust. Manipulation thrives when self-doubt is present. Strengthen internal validation. Now a final story. A man spends years feeling controlled by circumstances. Media tells him what to fear. Social pressure tells him who to be. Authority tells him what is acceptable. One day, nothing dramatic happens. He simply begins questioning, not rebelliously, quietly, thoughtfully. Over time, influence loses its grip. Not because it disappears, but because it is recognized. Awareness is liberation. This is the true power of psychology. Not domination. Discernment. As we close, remember this. Not every influence is evil. Not every persuasion is harmful. Human interaction depends on influence. The danger lies in unconscious acceptance. Stay alert. Stay reflective. Stay sovereign in your own mind. If this documentary helped you see the invisible forces shaping your decisions, leave a thoughtful comment below and share what stood out most. This is the third and final request to like, subscribe, and engage. The mind is powerful. Protect it.